A few weeks ago, a very basic online computer game was released by the anti extremist group Pathways. It was commissioned by East Riding and Hull councils. It aimed to dissuade young people from becoming radicalised by the so called far right. Playing as a 17-year-old male or female main character, both called Charlie, you are given a series of multiple choice decisions which alter your outcomes. If you choose anything far right, you end up falling foul of the law, becoming unhappy, and being referred to prevent for wrongthink. Someone tempting you to the dark side is an angry looking purple haired girl who is keen to impart her insights about mass immigration and Islam ruining the country. Her name is Amelia. She tries to lure you into sharing edgy posts, joining secret groups, and attending patriot rallies. If you don't yield, she shuns you, but it is made clear you have done the right thing. Social media commentators mocked the cheesy, decidedly unhip game for the obvious propaganda it was. Here was a perfect example of the war against free speech and the chiding push for multicultural and liberal conformity. They funneled viewers onto the website, causing strain on the server. Those playing of a far-right persuasion were of course drawn to Amelia's requests, considering them based. Very soon, Amelia had emerged as a heroine and an AI meme phenomenon. It helped that the original depiction of Amelia was that of a nominally attractive girl with an alternative aesthetic. This included not only the purple hair, but a pink dress and a much-admired choker collar. This was a stylistic mistake, because since about 2015, such a figure would be part of the woke vanguard, smashing the white and fusty patriarchy. Here, the far-right nativist was the attractive and exciting character. If you play as male Charlie, of course, there is a romantic element there. One recalls school or university, and wishing the desirable and cool girl would be interested in you. Thus, there is a frisson in going along with Amelia's naughty schemes. When the meme makers got involved, of course, Amelia's beauty was maximised, her age increased so as not to be too creepy, and her clothing made more revealing. There are various versions, with purple hair being the common feature. We have Wojak Amelia, waifu anime Amelia, often looks too young, live-action AI Amelia, and various cartoon iterations. I have even made some myself. The depiction also broke the mould by unwittingly equating the far right with alternative culture. Alternative culture has generally been associated with the left, with exceptions. However, as the left became the mainstream, it was only inevitable that the right would become alternative. During the culture wars or woke, the left, and thus the mainstream, became increasingly unhinged, and the decline of the country was more and more noticeable. Therefore, many of the left or liberal persuasion drifted further right. I was one of them, along with influential figures such as Carl Benjamin. This tendency merged with the burgeoning underground internet culture, and what resulted was a youth movement that had the energy of alternative leftism, but the politics of what might be called reactionary conservatism. As the country has only got worse, with prices through the roof, the Boris wave, and violence everywhere, this has not only cemented, but bled into the mainstream. Fiery young people who 5 years ago would have been co-opted by BLM, JSO, or Me Too are now gravitating in this direction. Amelia is a symptom of that cultural shift. What does Amelia represent? Well, in a sense, she is anything you want her to be. She is an avatar for the creator. I will say the Remigration Now crowd and ethno-nationalists have adopted her particularly, and she is sometimes being used to say racial and homophobic slurs and encourage violence. I don't like or condone this, but that is the uncontrollable nature of memes. Pepe the Frog is another famous example. With Amelia, there is something jarring about her adorable beauty and the dark things she can be made to say. That's part of her power. I would recommend you don't use Amelia to be so extreme. Avoid violence or slurs and very warlike imagery. Apart from anything, as Pathways were keen to tell us, Starmer and his forces are watching. Nonetheless, Amelia is a strident character and needs to be conveying the robust politics that will get us out of this dreadful situation. To me, she represents a cool British dignity, a rebellion against the progressive managerial class and its spiritual king Keir Starmer, a refuser of the advances of hostile foreign cultures. She personifies the country in the way Britannia or Boudica used to. This is reflected in the "do it for her" line used in some memes, playing on propaganda posters from the First and Second World Wars. Men are urged to stand for the country in defense of their womenfolk, those that bear their children and thus carry on the nation. Although she is considered to be a far-right avatar, Amelia does also represent a sort of social liberalism. Here is a girl in revealing clothing, at least by Islamist standards, spiritedly rejecting the influence of Islam, a religion that is used to push the burqa, deny a woman's sexual independence, and generally crush female joy. It is no coincidence Amelia soon parodied the Iranian woman lighting a cigarette meme, with Ayatollah Khomeini replaced by Starmer. There is a more libertarian energy to her than a conservative trad wife one. She, like much of her audience, is immersed in liberal popular culture and ideas of personal freedom, within reason. The latter is something long associated with being British, even though it has been tested almost to destruction by mass immigration and globalism. There is, of course, an element of fantasy and fetish to all this. Doubtless, Amelia titillates a lot of men, and it allows their own views to be confirmed to them in an arousing way. Some women have been drawn to Amelia for her effect on men, especially if they are e-thots who can AI themselves into Amelia videos. Others just see the meme as a bit of fun, a cheeky piece of populist subversion, and various female journalists have made their hair purple on their profile pictures. Is it cringe at points? Certainly. But Amelia is still a powerful character with endless memeing potential, who can drive forward the radical yet non-violent agenda required to turn our country around. One thing is sure, these progressive managerial leftists who created her have scored one of the greatest own goals in a long history of misjudging the British public.